dance for joy, your last pour.
Welcome to Slightly Shambolic SMMT Reviews, the series where we drive cars for just 35 minutes and film the whole review in a shambolic and rubbish way because we don't have any time. This is a 2023 Kia XCeed 1.5 GT Line S. But is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the Kia XCeed, which is a sort of SUV inspired crossover version of the normal Kia XCeed, was introduced in 2019. This is a facelifted one. The facelift occurred in the autumn of 2022, and it looks actually really nice. This car retails for just over £30,000. You can get an automatic version, but this is the manual version. The engine in this car is a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder with 158 horsepower. At the moment, there seem to be supply issues with some of the engines that Kia would be otherwise putting in an XCeed. So the base engine when the car was launched in 2019 was a 1 litre 3-cylinder with 118 horsepower. Until 2021, there was a 1.4 with 138 horsepower, and at the moment, in addition to this 1.5, there is a plug-in hybrid powertrain with 139 horsepower and a 1.6 litre engine. There were also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. So this car so far is feeling very pleasant. The ride height is a bit more than the standard XCeed, and it's got this sort of SUV look about it. But apart from that, it feels pretty good. Engine feels pretty powerful. Ride seems pretty good. It's a very pleasant car to drive, but I imagine so is the standard XCeed. So let's have a look now at some of the things which differentiate this XCeed model from another one. So here we are near Basingstoke for the SMMT South test day, where people are invited to drive an awful lot of new cars from different manufacturers, but you don't really get long, so I better stop waffling and get on with it. First of all, you'll see with this XCeed model, we've got a completely different front end. Even the facelifted XCeeds don't have the same front bumper at all. This one looks altogether a bit more aggressive. We've also got this body side cladding, and I'm very grateful we've got parking sensors actually even on the black plastic bit. That's quite handy. And on the lower parts of the doors, we have these sort of rubbing strips, I suppose you'd call them. 18-inch wheels on this GT Line S spec car, which is top of the range. I do like these rear lights. They came in with a facelift in 2022. I think they do look really quite sort of stylish, actually. I think we've got an electric tailgate on this car, actually. Yes, we do. I better stand back. I don't really think you necessarily need that. It's quite a sort of small tailgate. I don't think most of the standard XCeeds you get that, but it's nice to have, I suppose. Adjustable height boot floor. Capacity in this particular car, which is just with a 1.5 petrol engine and no hybrid powertrain, is a 423 litres. If you had, for example, the plug-in hybrid, it would be a little bit less. One thing I'd like to see very much, and you know, I say this on a lot of new cars, is a spare wheel. You just get a tyre inflation kit as standard. I would definitely be changing that. You can see as well, the boot floor does actually change height. I could drop this down. It's quite difficult to do in one hand, but there we go. I'd probably leave it in that position if it were me, unless I was sliding luggage through. Can fold the seats, of course. Just go into the back. One thing this car does, which is a little bit peculiar, well, maybe it's not peculiar, I don't think I've encountered too many like this, is when you get in and out of the car, the driver's seat actually moves back, so that's actually not my driving position. But you can, yeah, you can fold the seats down, which is good. Do you have little bits here to stop the seatbelt snagging? No, that's a bit annoying. Got a nice centre armrest and some cup holders. Isofix points, of course, and actually they are hinged so you don't lose the covers. Back you've got a USB socket, sorry, USB-C socket this one is, and some rear air vents. Also, there's some map pockets, but there's a string in this car for some reason, which is unusual. I've opened the cover for the glass roof, because if I don't do that, it's very dark in here. It's a dark headliner, so that is helping my filming today. And we've got the door bins, which are really, really big. You could put a bottle of water in there, and multi-stage rear heated seats. That's quite impressive, isn't it? In the boot we've got 12-volt socket, a little hook there. We've got some big speakers in here as well. Hook on that side too, and a little place to put, I don't know, whatever that was. And there's some straps and tie down points. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I can use that, can't I? We can show the flashing rear lights. Excellent. I think actually what I'll do is I'll climb around the back. See, we've got a reversing camera on here, of course, and the parking sensors. See how he is getting out. I really should have moved that seat, shouldn't I, dears? But yeah, this one's actually manual rather than the driver's seat, which is electric. Yeah, if we put that a little bit forward, headroom's absolutely fine, no problem. And we've got some little lights for the rear passengers. We don't have one here. That's probably a consequence of the sunroof. But actually, even with the sunroof, the headroom is actually pretty good. Actually, it's very, very good. Yeah, I like this upholstery as well. There's Alcantara insets in it. It all feels very, very sort of luxurious, actually. And getting in and out is quite easy if you have the seat in the right position. Let's go round to the driver's seat, because that's the most important one. Keyless entry, of course. And some aluminium or aluminium style pedals. Yep, electric seat, which is actually a memory seat as well. JBL sound system. Door pockets as well for bottles, and then, you know, folding mirrors and all electric windows, probably all power shot in this car, I imagine too. Automatic wipers, automatic lights, auto high beam. Come on, autofocus. There we go. And then here are the steering wheel controls. Thankfully in this car they are not touch sensitive, they are just normal buttons. And yeah, we've got lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise control. Little button there you can configure for different things on there. Heated steering wheel, multi-stage heated seats. I mean, light ventilated seats, but never mind. And we've got USB-C as well as USB down there, and an old-fashioned 12-volt socket, which is good. 6-speed manual. You can get an automatic as well. That's for turning the parking camera on and off, which is interesting. Parking sensors, auto stop start, automatic handbrake, with that sort of feature. But well, I've been using it manually actually, so that's fine. Let's move the armrest out of the way. Got some cup holders hidden there if you want to hide them away, which is nice. Piano black. That might kind of pick up some fingerprints and things. One thing I'm really appreciating is all these physical heating and ventilation controls, with the temperature will be in the middle when I start the car up, which I'll do in a second. That is really neat and very, very safe in comparison with all these manufacturers who bury the controls in the touchscreen. So we've got a storage cubby there. Do we have a sunglasses holder? Yes, we do. No sunglasses in there today, though. And LED interior lights, which is nice. That's for control for the sunroof. So if I think I need to do that. Oh my gosh, my seat just moved. Ugh, it's a bit disconcerting. Right, I think we've got the infotainment system off, which is good. Big screen, I think it's 10.2 inches. I know the door's open. Excuse me a second, viewers. Goodness gracious me, that was annoying. Right, are these physical buttons for doing various parts of the screen? No, it's touch sensitive. That's not necessarily my favourite, that sort of thing, but it's okay. There we are, just near a little village called Dean, just outside Basingstoke. So we can put the radio on and things like that. I won't spend too long doing this. One thing I would like to see on here is like a main menu button. There doesn't need to be one. You can configure this presumably to do various things. In this particular car, it takes you to the main menu. All sorts of things on here: valet mode, media, quiet mode, Kia Connect. Climate controls also in the touchscreen if you really want to use it in there, but I don't see why you normally would do that. So map navigation, that kind of thing. One thing I would definitely want to sort of put on here is Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, which they do have phone projections just there. There we go. We don't have wireless on here. It's just a normal one, which is fine, I suppose. Kia Connect with some apps, voice mode, climate. Oh, look, there's the other settings in here. Can we turn off the traction control? Ooh, I have to turn the car on to do that. Display. Ooh, can we have the warm fireplace thing on here, which you can have some other Kias? Might be able to sort of see that. Yeah, here we go. Also light brightness. Gosh, I'll be in forever. So many things to do. Profile. Does that allow me to do things? No. Guest, of course. General. What sort of things in general? Oh no, that's all sort of, you know, pretty basic. This is like operating a laptop, isn't it? That's all it pretty much is. It's not the system I thought it was at all. The old system had these kind of little themes you could put on, like, you know, cafe or snowball fight or whatever it was, or warm fireplace, which I don't seem to be able to find in this, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Got a valet mode as well. I imagine that sort of limits the doors in the boot, things like that. Yeah, it's all in the apps, just like everything else. Media, we won't have anything. Oh, there we go. Bluetooth audio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Oh, sounds of nature. That's what I wanted. Yeah, outer space communication. Well, we haven't got the snowy village or the warm fireplace. We've got lively forest. This is supposed to be kind of sort of calming if you're a bit stressed on your commute or something. How about rainy day? That's really rainy, isn't it? Outer space communication. What? My Kia XCeed just became a satellite. Right, let's turn this off. We don't need any of this stuff. Let's just turn this all off. There we go. Okay. Soft touch dash. And at the top, which is nice. Even lower down, that sort of soft touch. This little QI thing. I wonder what that means. See if we can fit mission documents in here. Yeah, if I was slightly smaller, we'd be able to. I quite like this sort of surround on the air vents and things, and you know, the fact they've been picked out and highlighted. What we need to do now, I think, is actually turn the car off and on again, and there we go. We've got the drive information. I would prefer normal dials. I don't know if you can get those on some of the lower specs, but this is okay, I suppose. Let's just go through some of the information. There's the average fuel economy since somebody refueled it, which wasn't me. 43.6 miles per gallon actually on average over 585 miles. I think that's quite good actually. Yeah, so that's the main information. I'm sure you can configure this sort of cluster and things like that. There's more things you can do with sat nav and all the other things, tire pressure monitoring, speed limiter and that sort of thing. But we'll just leave that actually as it is. Otherwise this video is just going to be far too long and I haven't got much time with the car. Right, so you can configure all that sort of stuff to your heart's content. And we need to now look at the engine, don't we? Kia's current range of engines are called SmartStream G for gasoline, I imagine. Yeah, of course, Kia and Hyundai are the same company, as you can see with that little label there, if it'll actually show. There we go. Yeah, there we go. It actually looks sort of normal for a modern engine. There's no mild hybrid system on this particular car. There are on some of the other engines, I believe, which may be coming at some point soon, but this one is just a normal 1.5 petrol, which is refreshing to see, really. One thing I have noticed actually, and we'll just have a look at this before we go back, is we've got some controls here for turning off things like that, I think, is blind spot detection, and that one will be to do with the lane keeping assist. You can actually turn those off with the buttons, which is really, really good. You don't have to fiddle in a touchscreen to do that, which, as we've been fiddling a touchscreen today, would take a long, long time. Right, let's go back, shall we? Lloyd Vehicle Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. So viewers, I've turned off the outer space communication, because although it was very, very soothing and really helping me in terms of ASMR, it was probably very annoying for you. So trim levels available in one of these, when the car first came out, were first edition, unsurprisingly, 2, 3, 4, and there was also a Connect special edition with the pre-facelift cars. These days, rather than having a 4, you can have a GT line or a GT line S. Suspension on this sort of bumpy road is actually quite comfortable. That might be due to the extra ride height that this XCeed model gives you over the standard Ceed. Engine sounds good, it's pretty responsive actually. 0 to 60 is I think 8.7 seconds, which seems fast enough to me for most of the needs that anybody would have. Right, well, let's see if it moves quickly enough, which it does. Clutch bite's a little high, but that's quite common on Kias and Hyundais. 6-speed manual's very, very slick. I really like that. The steering's actually quite responsive. There's actually some weight to it, which is good. Obviously, it's an electric system. It's not a hydraulic one. See how it goes around this little corner here. Oh, that's good. You do feel a bit of body roll, but that's because of the extra ride height. Yes, I mean, there's lots of things that I can compare this to. The principal one being the Ford Focus Active. You could also buy a couple of Kia's other cars instead of one of these. You can get the Stonic, which is a little bit smaller than this, and that's based on the same platform as the Rio. Or you could go for the Nero, which I think also is offered with a plug-in hybrid powertrain. I don't know, I prefer the look of this. I think it looks a bit more sort of conventional and things. And you either really like the styling of a car these days or you don't. They seem to be quite sort of divisive in terms of what they're like. So this is definitely a car for somebody who doesn't maybe like the look of the standard Ceed, which is a bit cheaper than this, but doesn't need any extra sort of off-road ability, because this really there is none, apart from maybe some rutted tracks would be a bit better than a standard Ceed. This car's front-wheel drive only, but it is rather nice. And they do a nice sort of green colour with these that I've seen. I think that would be my choice. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching this episode of the Slightly Shambolic SMMT reviews. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more reviews done incredibly quickly.
your joy.